morning. We will do creditors reconciliation and look at the effects and the reasons why we do a creditors reconciliation. The first question is explain 2 reasons why it is important to do the creditors reconciliation. So you record all the entries in your books when you buy goods from the creditors, when you return goods to them, when you make payments. In the creditors books, they also do all the entries in connection with your business. So at the end of the month, you will compare your creditors ledger with a statement of account that you receive from your creditor, so that you can determine if there's any differences between this statement that you receive from the creditor and your account in the creditor's ledger. If there's a mistake, it means that there's something wrong. Either you made the mistake or the creditor made the mistake, or you omitted entries or the creditor submitted entries. So it is very important that you have to go and correct these mistakes in your books and record all the omissions that was not done in your books. Then you will look at the statement that you receive from your creditor, and you will see what is all the things that they did incorrectly or where they omitted entries, so that you can notify the creditor about these mistakes and omissions so that they can correct it in the following statement of account that they issue and that you will receive the following month. If you don't do this, then there can be mistakes and you can pay much more to the creditor than you're supposed to do because you don't see where the mistakes or omissions were made. The main reason for this is to identify potential fraud, either from employees working for you, that they pretend that they pay money to a creditor that's not really paid and they paid the money into their own account, or on the side of the creditor's statement that you receive, you can see if there's mistakes there that will also point out fraud on their side. The second question is explain 2 reasons why it is important to pay the creditors within 60 days. If we signed an agreement with them that we will pay within 60 days, it means that if we take longer than 60 days, they can charge us with interest. So to prevent this interest on an overdue account, we will rather pay within 60 days. Otherwise, the goods will cost us much more than we thought in the beginning. The entity can benefit from discount received on account if you pay before the due date. So you can sign an agreement with your creditor that you will pay within 60 days. If you take longer than 60 days, they will charge you with interest. If you pay sooner, so you take less than 60 days to pay, they will give you discount. So that means that because you pay earlier, you can obtain discount that will reduce your expenses. In the future, this can have a very big effect on your business. Because you pay sooner, you get a good name in the business world and it will improve your credibility so that in the future it will be easier to obtain credit. Explain 2 reasons why the manager thinks it's better not to pay accounts before the due date. The first one, he feels that he can use the money to buy more goods for cash at reduced prices from someone else. Then he can sell these goods to increase his profits before he has to pay the creditors. So if he has 60 days to pay, he doesn't want to pay before the time. He wants to use this money and in this 60 days buy and sell so that he can make bigger profits. If the business doesn't have enough money to pay creditors before the due date, a bank overdraft can be avoided that will increase interest. So if you pay longer than before the time, it means that you pay the creditor before the time that you have to. Because you pay them before the time, you pay them with a bank overdraft, and on the bank overdraft you have to pay interest. If you paid the creditor on the correct date, you would not have to pay interest. the money in the bank can be used to pay expenses, and that you have enough cash flow in the business to pay everything that you have to. When the goods are sold, the money can be used to pay the creditors. So the owner feels that if he takes the money and he uses it to buy more goods to sell to make a bigger profit, or to buy all his pay all his expenses and pay his liabilities, then he will sell the goods and he will pay the creditor after the 60 days.